We live, baby. We live. We live. We live. Yo, so this is my first time going live on multiple platforms. So we live on Twitch. We live on Kick. I want to say we live on Instagram right now. No, I don't think we live on Instagram, but we definitely are live on YouTube. And I want to say X. Welcome back to Making It Look Easy. It's your boy Denzel, better known on IG as Champagne Popper. And I'm excited. So I've been moving around from Austin, Houston. I live in Houston, but I've been on the move. But talk about a lot of things, but primarily I like to talk about boxing. That's like my bread and butter, is to talk about boxing. We got Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. And then we also got Alicia Baumgartner. And I forgot the name of her opponent, but she looked pretty solid though. So we're gonna talk about that for sure, for sure. Another thing we're gonna talk about, which I don't think a lot of people even care about or even know about, but Andrew Tate versus Chase Demore. That fight gonna be stupid, literally. But I can't wait though. I simply cannot wait because I want to see what Andrew Tate gonna do. Not a lot of people know about it now. Stuff going in the background. Anywho. Just wait for a few more people to come in. Like I said, this is my first time being on live. Got a couple partners that might join. Let me share the link with them. We got Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. That fight gonna be stupid lit. Off the chain. Can't wait. Cannot wait for that. That's gonna be a crazy fight. I got Shakur playing in the background. I'm interested to see what y'all got. Who y'all want, or who do y'all see coming out on top in that fight? It's a lot of good boxing going on. A lot of good boxing going on, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. We just had that Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz. That fight was crazy. I was at that fight. And let me tell you, I can see why people can say Lamont Roach pulled it off, but I saw a draw. I think that was fair to say. I know Lamont might feel like he being given the short end of the stick with the referees and stuff like that, or the judges. And I could see that too, but I think in this fight, he didn't do enough to pull it off. Honestly, I think what made it a draw was that point deduction that was taken away. But nonetheless, it was a great night of boxing. You had Shane Mosley versus Ramos. I got there when that fight started, like taking off, and that fight was cool. I'm a fan of Shane Mosley Jr. now, for sure. He definitely got a chin on him. He was definitely taking some major hits, but he was dishing them out too. Definitely dishing them out. Shocky Foster. Interesting. I didn't expect that to be like a shutout. Like, he made that shit look so easy. It looked like a sparring match. And a lot of people was kind of like shocked by it because I didn't know too much about O'Shaquie until he had a fight, a couple fights back where he lost, but he clearly won. I don't know the name of the fighter that he had. But he ended up pitching a shutout versus Cool Boy Steph out of Philly. Boots Ennis was there in his corner. Bozy Ennis was the head trainer. And it was just a shutout. I want to say Foster came out and won every round. Every round. So that was very interesting to watch. The crowd was booing for some reason. I don't know why. Crowd was booing. But man, it's so much good boxing going on. So much good boxing going on. But I think the most exciting one outside of this Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua would have to be the Shakur Stevensons and Teofimo Lopez. So we definitely gonna be talking about a lot of that today. But first and foremost, welcome to Making It Look Easy. My name is Denzel from Texas, Bay City, Texas. At that, if any of y'all know about Mexican OT, yeah, we from the same neck of the woods, but we proclaim Houston, so because it's like the closest city, the closest small town to Houston, so we just say Houston. But from Bay City, started this channel about over a year ago. Like, I really started taking it seriously. So it started out traveling because that's what I do. I travel. I do a lot of solo trips. I've been to a lot of places. But then it switched over. Well, I'm not going to say switched over, but I combined boxing because I love boxing so much. But, you know, after seeing the landscape and on how YouTube is, like, at this point, I'm just like being consistent with posting everything that I'm interested in, to be honest with you. But boxing is like my main squeeze. Like, boxing is my sport of choice. A lot of people like to talk football, and I do talk a little bit about football every now and then, but not too much. My main thing would have to be boxing. I like a little bit of basketball. The only thing about basketball that I love is LeBron James. That's it. That's all. Just LeBron James. Like, after LeBron James, like, you know, there's really nothing else for me. But yeah. So, you know, boxing. We got a lot of great boxing coming up. But first things first, I want to shout out to all the boxing content creators. I want to shout out to Blue Blood. I've been watching Blue Blood since probably since he started doing YouTube. I don't even know. It's been a long time. It's been hella years. I actually met Blue Blood. The cool thing about me meeting Blue Blood, I was there when Turkey Alycia gave him his flowers. We was in Vegas for the Canelo and Crawford fight. Was at the Grand Arrivals, and I just ran into Blue Blood, and he was cool as hell. We was chopping it up, and we kind of snuck our way past like security and everything. We weren't even trying. Like, we just went with the flow of traffic, and we was standing right there with Turkey. and it was another female boxer. She's from Saudi as well. I forgot her name though, but she was cool as fuck. But we Turkey, he came up to Blue and he told Blue that he loved watching this show. And I got that on camera and I sent that to Blue. And ever since then, me and Blue been cool. And I was sitting there picking his brain. And it was cool to sit there and just chop it up with him because I've learned a lot about boxing because of guys like Blue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, you can say they can be biased at times. You know, I mean, these guys been covering boxing for a long time. So, yeah, they're going to have their favorite fighters. But I learned a lot from watching Blue. Showbiz the adult. If you follow boxing at all, you should know who Showbiz the adult. His channel is very, very well put together. He's entertaining and he knows his boxing. His live streams are lit. I'm not gonna say I never, but as far as the live fights commentary that he does, no one does it better. You know, if I'm not paying for a pay-per-view fight, or if I'm not able to like watch the fight somewhere, if I can just throw on Showbiz, I'll be straight. And there's a lot of boxing commentators out there that's doing it live stream, but not like Showbiz. Showbiz, his whole setup is just very entertaining. And on top of that, I agree with a lot of things that he's saying because when it comes to boxing, he's just a nerd. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows a lot about the sport, even to the point to where, you know, he knows what's going on in the fight. I've interacted with Showbiz here and there, but I haven't met him yet. But I would love to one day. I would love to meet Showbiz one day. Let me see. So we got one viewer from Twitch. So I'm building up my Twitch. I ain't never been on Twitch. Never been on Kick. This is my first time really live streaming for multiple platforms. So we're going to see how this go. But I am going to get more involved in these streaming because that's the way we going now. You know, streaming is pretty much taking over the internet. So if you ain't on live, then you really ain't. People really don't give a damn. Greg Hackett. I can listen to Greg Hackett talk boxing all day. You know, shout out to YSM Sports. They live in a boxing gym. They cover a lot of boxing, from fighters to trainers. But I love hearing Greg Hackett just talk boxing. And then when he predict fights, he actually breaks down the fights. And sometimes they be on point, you know. But what I like about Greg Hackett the most is that he actually does box. So he actually knows what this shit is like. I mean, he just had a fight with Brian Norman Sr. You know what I'm saying? We've had Greg Hackett on this channel. We chopped it up for a little minute. We had a real good conversation when it came to various different topics when it comes to the sport of boxing. So I love listening to Greg Hackett. I think he's a great asset to the sport, especially if you want to get to know boxing and you want to get to understand boxing and look at boxing from the perspective of a trainer and a fighter. I would say listen to Greg Hackett for sure. He could probably blowing up with his own channel. I think it would be dope to have him as a real we can kick guys off like, you know, what's his face? What's his name? LaShawn McCoy. Yeah, they need to get him up out of there, yo. LaShawn don't know what the hell he's talking about at all. Great football player, though. Me and my boy, we was just chopping it up about who was like the coldest running back out of him, Reggie Bush, and Sproles. And at first, I had Reggie Bush and Sproles. Like I knew about LaShawn McCoy, but he was never just at like my uh. But then I went back. Well, my boy sent me his highlight tape, and after seeing his highlight tape, I'm like, damn, I ain't nobody was like this cold. So when it come to that football shit, yes. But when it come to boxing, nah. His boxing breakdowns, the way he see the sport. And I haven't seen him in the ring, so I ain't no telling how where he at with it for real, for real. So I feel like this is one place where we can talk our shit, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to Sean McCoy and Max Kellerman. Like I be telling folks all the time, Max Kellerman is like the 9 rounds of boxing. Like that's the type of boxing that he covers. That title, don't nobody like listen to him talk boxing because he's so mainstream. He's like out of touch. He's out of touch when it comes to the boxing world. I mean, he knows about the big fights and the big fighters, but you know, when it comes down to, you know, being a true fan of the sport, that you look at these fights and you start to break them down a lot differently. Like it's different when you hear Andre Ward talk about boxing compared to when you hear Max Kellerman talk about boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you hear Greg Hackett talk about boxing. Now, I would say, what's his name actually? He know a little some. The actor, the Hispanic dude, I want to say his name Mario. Now, he might know a little some. But he plays smart. You know what I'm saying? At least he's not over here, you know what I'm saying, having his foot in his mouth when it comes to speaking boxing. But yeah, you know, shout out to all those guys. And you know, shout out to the other boxing channels for sure. You got a Punch Drunk. I like that guy a lot. You got Cigar Talk. I love listening to Cigar Talk. I think his name is Hygie or whatever. I apologize if I'm butchering the name, but I do love his channel. I like anybody that talk boxing. I can hear him out. The only person that I can't hear anymore is Fanon, because you can't even like fully disagree with him without him blocking you. So yeah, when it comes to Fanon, I just can't really do it for real, for real. But man, shout out to all the boxing content creators out there. I've been inspired by a lot of you guys to get on here and, you know what I'm saying, pop my shit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a little bit about boxing. I got into boxing about 7 years ago. San Diego Bomber Squad, home of Johnny Manzor and Juju, you know, the 2 cousins out of San Diego. Head coach over there, Berlin. You know, Coach Robert, Coach Tez, you know, the Mid Queen, and you know, y'all probably seen her on Creed 3. You know what I'm saying? She holding mitts and shit. That is a great gym. I came up in the gym. That's where that's where my foundation come from. Hard work and having fun with it. So, you know, it made me fall in love to the point to where like my boxing is pretty decent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know for a fact I can go on like a misfits and probably fuck all of them up for real, for real. Then from there I went to Utah. I was with Joe Bish and John Bryant, John Bump Time Bryant, and Dylan. You know what I'm saying? Those are 2 phenomenal fighters out there in Utah. Also home of Cormel Moten. He from Utah. So, you know, um, I know a little something. I also trained at Shakur's gym for a little bit. I'm actually gonna go back. You know what I'm saying? It's right down the road. So, I've been in the mix. So I know a little bit about a little bit. But, you know, when it comes to boxing, I think that somebody who actually actively trains boxing and watches boxing constantly, not just the big fights, but the small fights, not just the big networks, but the small networks. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of times these boxers like Shakur, Tank, they're sparring guys that you'll never ever hear about. Never. Because they don't have the resources or the money. They don't have some of these guys you got to think about it like Tank, he came up under like AB. He was in the amateurs too, but he didn't really have a big name in the amateurs. I don't think, not from what I've heard. You know what I'm saying? Then you got guys like T.O., Shakur, they didn't ran across each other in the amateurs. Ryan, Devin, Boots, like these guys like came up together. You know what I'm saying? Then when they get on with, take a Floyd Schofield. You know what I'm saying? Like he signed the Golden Boy. He obviously made a name for himself. So some guys was never able to get to that point of making a name for themselves. But they spar these guys. And so, but you gotta be really in a sport to know that shit though. Not everybody really know that shit. But Alicia Baumgardner, she's 18 wins and 1 loss. She lost to a woman named Christina Letorado. But Alycia Baumgartner from Ohio, but resides out of Detroit. She remind me of, her fighting style reminds me of her fighting style. Hey, agree to disagree with me if you want to, but Alicia Baumgartner's fighting style remind me of, let me get the name. What's his name fought him? Roy Jones versus James Toney. Alicia Baumgartner, her style reminds me of James Toney. I might be wrong, but her style is, I don't know if it's just a Midwest thing because, you know what I'm saying, AB got a little bit of that, that little shoulder dip, that swag, that touch, but mean, slick, good feet, good jab, got power in both hands. She's a female fighter, so we probably don't look at her like she got power, but she definitely got power. I was put on to her whenever she Terry Harper, I think that's her name, that knockout she did on her. You know what I'm saying? When she stunned her and she froze, that was when I was introduced to Alicia Baumgartner. Like she, and then of course, sex appeal. Let's keep it 100. It's not like we don't see how beautiful that woman is. She know that. But thing about her is, she's so locked in. When it comes to the sport of boxing, like, you don't really hear about no BS. There's only one time we did heard some bullshit about Alycia, but you know what I'm saying? AB was drunk. You know what I'm saying? So we just go, let him have his moment or whatever. But we love Alicia Baumgartner over here. We definitely are going to be talking about her a lot because women's boxing don't really have the support that I feel like it should. I think there's a lot of great female boxers. Of course, we got Clarissa Shields. Clarissa, when I first started watching Clarissa, like they used to talk about how she used to look like a man and shit. And I just don't see it. She's a beautiful woman to me. Like hella beautiful. And I know some of you niggas don't really even know about Papoose. Papoose, I learned about Papoose when he came up under Wayne. Or he was rocking with Wayne. He was doing something with Wayne way back in the day. That was when I first got put on the Papoose. And like for both of them, it seemed like both of them have like glowed up. You know what I'm saying? I never really seen Papoose too much out in the public, especially like smiling and shit. You know what I'm saying? Being active. And then, Clarissa, she's beautiful. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Nobody. And, it just seems like Alicia Baumgartner and Clarissa Shields the only two women that really like spice up the female sport of boxing. But shout out to Jake Paul because Jake Paul has done a lot of great things when it comes to the sport of boxing. Despite if you like him or not, despite if you want to consider him a real fighter or not, he has done a lot of things when it comes to the sport of boxing. Because on the female side alone, he gave us Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano 3 times. He's put Alicia Baumgartner on the biggest stage of her life. Somebody who deserves it, She got the IBF and the WBO. So, for him to put more eyes on female boxing, you got to give him the nod for that. If you watch the Mike Tyson and hold on, man, got my boy hopping in. Oh shit, where my damn mic at, man? Hold on, bro. Why my damn thing want to act stupid now? Hold on, bro. My mouse ain't even working, fam. All right, boom.
My boy. You can hear me?
What's up with you? Yeah. What's good with you?
Shit, bro. I'm over here in Orlando at the WBA convention, so I just wrapped my night up, and I'm actually about to head on out of here. What's going on, my guy? Is that a passport behind you? Do you have a passport poster? Yeah, my man be moving around.
Yeah. It
My man be
says
moving around.
travel, money returns, but time doesn't, man.
Amen, bro. Amen. What's the word, though, my
Man,
guy?
hey, bro, you travel more than anybody I know, for real.
If we talk about the United States of America, I'll take that. I'll take that for sure.
No, real talk. I need to know how many miles you got on your car, bro.
Yo, that's such a funny question, right? Because I drive a Nissan Rogue. It's 2023. I just went for
Uh-huh.
service, right? Like 2 days ago. And when I went for service, to make a long story short, I have a company car. So I got a regular job, all that fun stuff, right? We can talk about that if you want. But anyway, because I have a company car, when I need service, I take it into the dealer, Nissan, and they contact this company that handles the maintenance for my vehicle. So when I did that this week, like 2 days ago, the dude, he sends the request in, like, we got to do such and such to the car. And I'm sitting there in the lobby. He goes, okay, we got a response. Normally that means like, all right, it's approved, go home, we'll be done, or hang around, it'll be done, whatever. So he goes, we got a response, but, they're giving me a little trouble. I said, what's the trouble? He said, whoever I'm working with over, at the company, they said December 1st, you got service. I got an oil change. And you had 148,000 miles. and it's December 10th, and you got 152,000 miles. They think it's like fraud or something. I'm like, nah, I drove
Yeah.
to Texas and back. Tell them I drove to Texas and back. So I got one. I got a 2023 with 152,000 miles.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it though. I think it's worth it. So you why you chose to drive over flying? Is it cheaper?
Well, yeah, for sure, bro. So, it's good. We doing this interview for anybody who watches this and they're interested in what we do, right? Like, I cover all my own expenses. I don't work for a network. I don't work for a promoter. I don't work for a sanctioning body. So for me to be at an event, I got to cover that cost. I got to get myself down there. I got to pay for my stay, obviously the expenses during the week. So with my vehicle, because I have a company car, I don't have to, you know what I mean? I got gas already. I got whatever I need. So my car is maintained. So it's a cost saving measure for sure. I'd rather fly, but I ain't got to pay to drive.
Yeah. And it seems fun though, cause I mean you get to see all the states, you get to stop, make your stops, and keep that shit pushing. But I want to
Yeah.
know what got you into the sport of boxing in this way. Cause I remember when I first came across you, you was part of I don't know, was it Fight
Fight
Hope,
hype.
one of the Fight
Fight hype.
Hype. Um, and I watched how you do your interviews. I'm like, shit, he knows his shit. He has some great questions. You know what I'm saying? So how long you been in, and what got you in the first place?
Yeah, bro. So the thing that brought me to boxing, like if we're going back, I remember, bro, not to get, go too far back, but quite honestly, I remember seventh grade. Like it was yesterday. I was walking to school. I grew up in New York City in Brooklyn. I was walking to school. I was about 12 years old. And I remember these kids, bro. Cause so I went to Catholic school for like a couple years in elementary. So when
Mhm.
I got to that, early preteens and stuff, I told my mom, I'm like, yo, I'm going to the park and these dudes is trying me because they don't know me, but we live on the same block, but we don't go to school together. So they be messing with me. So I said, send me to public school. And it's probably changed my life in so many ways. When it comes to boxing, yeah, man. I remember walking to school one morning and I was walking with these kids and they were talking about this dude named Trinidad beat this dude named Oscar De La Hoya. And, I grew up in New York where the Puerto Ricans were, especially at that time. So they were just really like, I could just tell how hyped they was. And I was like, what is this about? That's what got me into boxing. It was Tito Trinidad. And I've been a fan ever since. I love the sport. I've watched it my whole life pretty much since I was 12 years old. My favorite fighter ever just, cemented himself, Bud Crawford. But anyway, fell in love with the sport. And yeah, man, about 4 years ago, you know how you have friends and like you do
Mhm.
something that you passionate about and they'll be like they'll be like, oh, you should do this or you should do that. So I used to always be like, man, I want to work for boxing. And they used to be like, you should do it. I'm like, but how? So I would always find myself after a fight going to YouTube and watching Fight Hype or Fight Hub. I used to watch both of them. So one day I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just start DMing these people. So I DM literally probably the Boxing Voice, Fight Hype, and like another little channel. I don't remember their name for like 6 months straight. Give me 1 second. I'm about to head out this parking. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You good? You good?
Next year, I'm like on a 2 hour drive. So once I leave here, I got 2 hours north.
For those who don't know, man, this is the Puerto Rican kid. Um, First
Thank
name
you.
Kevin. He gonna give his last name, but man, I've been
Garcia, baby. Garcia.
say what Garcia? Right.
Garcia.
Um, has a great channel when it comes to boxing. Um, dude always been cool, man. Everybody that I met in the boxing world has been cool. I was just telling everybody how I met Blue. He was
It's my
cool as
dog.
hell.
It's my dog.
Um, I've talked to Showbiz, but we
Cool
haven't
cat.
we haven't we haven't physically met. Greg Hackett, me and him chopped
My
it up before.
dog. My dog.
Yeah, Greg Hackett. I was just saying, Greg Hackett, he one of my favorites to listen to in boxing. Period. Like I wish that they would swap out LaShawn McCoy and
Shady.
put Greg Hackett on there.
Yeah, listen. If they swap out Shady, I'm trying to get that job. Only because Shady is definitely not the analyst on that panel. It'll probably be Max and the expert
Right.
boxer. But it's all good. If they give it to Greg, Greg my dog. So yeah,
Yeah.
Shady gotta go though. Denzel Shady, I love you, Shady, but you gotta get the hell up out of there.
I was just saying that, bro. When it comes to football, bro, I don't think people understand how cold he is. But when it comes to
Dope.
boxing, bro, it's just is boxing just not his cup of tea when it comes to like, you know what I'm saying, like understanding the sport, bro, at all.
Not at all.
But I think that dude Mario pretty good though.
Which one?
Mario, the dude that the actor, that guy.
Oh yeah, AC Slater from Saved by the Bell.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my dog. Mario knows
Yeah.
his boxing. Mario been in boxing but Mario paid a lot of dues. Mario been around the sport. I mean, I remember Manny Pacquiao videos, wild card videos where Mario was in the background. So yeah,
Yeah.
Mario been around for a minute. He been around the scene for a minute, bro. But yeah, but I'm good, bro. So I mean, shit, I don't even know what was I telling you before I started. I
Yeah,
forgot what else.
you was talking
Oh,
about
how
some
I got into boxing.
yeah, how you got into boxing.
Yeah, that was it right there, bro. Bottom line, I just started DMing people. Shout out to the boxing voice. I actually DM'd them first. Anybody who's listening to this that can give opportunity, always remember this, man. When somebody tells you they want to work for free, your ears should open up a little more. Doesn't mean you give them a job, but I feel like when somebody says that and has that conviction, who the hell want to work for free? So anyway, I was reaching out to the boxing voice, and I didn't know anything about how the media side of boxing worked. I just knew I understood the sport. I wasn't scared to talk to people, and I thought I could communicate well. So I was like, look, I could do this, right? So I reached out to them, and I got with Nesta Gibbs. He actually gave me an interview, a call, and we spoke. And he just didn't see the value in it because he was like, oh, you don't know nothing. I'm going to have to teach you. I was like, but look, bro, I'll do it for free. He said no. So I was like, man. So when that happened, I was upset. I'm like, yo, I just told this guy I'll travel anywhere. I'll pay my own hotels. I don't even need a dollar from you. I want to learn. So he said no. So then I kind of got a little sad about it. I was like, you know what, man, forget this, because I got a whole career. Like I have a regular career that I've been working with the same company for 16 years. So I was like, I got my job, man. Just those is hoop dreams, right? So I went back to just forgetting about it. About 6 months go by, and I just woke up one morning like, nah, I'm tripping. I'm getting older. That clock is ticking. I got to do. If I'm gonna do something in boxing, it's now or never. So I start reaching back out. And shout out to Ben Thompson. He's the owner of Fight Hype. He took me on. You know, he did an interview with me, and kind of like Nestor, he was like, all right, so basically, because you know he was asking me questions and how I think I could be asked this and that, and I kind of gave him a corporate line, like, hey, I'm great at communication, I got great interpersonal skills, all this shit you say when you're trying to get like a job with Verizon or something, you know. So when I said all that, he listened, and then at the end of it, he's like, okay, so you don't know shit. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't really know shit. I was like, about how to do this. He's like, but I do like your enthusiasm. So he gave me the shot. And yeah, we've been rolling ever since. That's how I got in, man, on a whim, an interview, and hustle, bro. You know, I got thrown into the deep end quick. I had to learn. I learned by myself. I didn't have nobody in the field teaching me. Ben would help me out over the phone and give me advice and stuff, but he wasn't there. So, you know, I had to kind of just jump in that deep end right away and figure out how to tread water.
You say this is Fight Hype?
Fight Hype, correct.
Fight
Which,
Hype.
if
Okay.
y'all don't know, that's the first boxing channel on YouTube. You can go look at the channel and look at the dates. Yeah, so they go back to like about '07.
Really?
Mhm.
Man, I just seen you in the background just a few minutes ago. I was listening to I want to say it was Fight Hype that was interviewing Clarissa Shields, and you was in the back with the Ring magazine jacket on. I saw that.
Yeah. Ring 6 for T.O. Shakur in New York City. Facts.
Yeah. You gonna be in Miami for this Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I'm down here in Florida right now. I'm in Orlando. I'm a chill. I'm at the WBA convention, which has been dope. Shout out to the WBA. Roberto Duran's down here. Shane Mosley's down here. Bernard Hopkins is down here. I mean, just so many different fighters. It's been a good event, and it goes through tomorrow. They announced their rankings. It was actually, not to get too sidetracked, but man, this WBA convention was very eye opening because I think the the leaders of these organizations, specifically Gilberto Mendoza, great dude. I think he's realizing, like, I'm sure the others are too, but he's articulating and he's becoming verbal about, yo. I mean, Bernard said it the best. Boxing's on a respirator right now. Boxing is on a respirator. So if these dudes don't make real significant moves, and I got some ideas, you know, we got time. I shared them with you, some shit I think will work. But if they don't make some moves, these organizations, within the next 5 years, TKO and Zuffa gonna wipe them out. Give me 1 second though. Hold your thought. Let me go ahead. What you was about to say?
No. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing.
I'm gonna put gas real quick. I'm right here at the pump. Hold on 1 second. I got a 2 hour drive after this. One moment.
You good. You good. Bring you. I got another homie named Ron. He called Gentleman Ron on TikTok. I don't know if y'all ever seen him on TikTok. He definitely talks a good talk when it comes to boxing. So hopefully, if he's still up, you know what I'm saying, he gonna hop in, man. Shout out to Ron. But yeah, man, boxing is definitely becoming very interesting with these fights. Let me see what it's looking like, man. Let's see what Kick talking about. What we got? What we got? Man, we talking boxer. I don't know. Excited fools. Maybe I said it wrong.
All right, I got him back with you.
Nah, you good. You good. You good. So yeah, bro. I know it's a few things that I do want to holler at you about. I wanna set the stage up for it though, because I think people forgot about it. But a couple years ago, Jake Paul was supposed to fight Hasim Rahman. And that was like the first time that Jake was supposed to fight so-called a real boxer. Now, for those who've been in boxing long enough, will remember Hasim from that situation that happened at Floyd's gym with the doghouse shit and his little brother. He's also the little brother of Hasim Rahman, you know, heavyweight. Um, also of the Muslim boxer. Let me turn this down. Let me turn this down. Um, but he was supposed to fight Hasim Rahman, and he put a weight clause on him. He wanted him to drop down to a certain amount. Hasim was dropping the weight, and for some reason it just got canceled. And they still had time to go, but I think they wasn't trying to sanction it because they felt like the weight that he was getting down to was a bit too much, and it was gonna be unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? Because Hassim is a big dude, um,
It's my
strong
dog.
too. I met him and his brother, yo, and they got some big ass hands, bro. Um,
Yeah.
so so that happened, and now you have fast forward, and then you got Jake Paul fighting a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. A lot of people do not like that went down, and now he's fighting Anthony Joshua, which we'll talk about that in a little bit too. But what do you think about the situation that people forgot about when it comes to Jake Paul and Hassan Rahman?
I think that would have been one of the first fights that truly measured where Jake is as a fighter, and I think that since that fight didn't happen, we still have a question mark because you look at the dudes that he's fought since. So if I'm, you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm almost positive the person who replaced Hassim in that fight was Nate Diaz, right? Was that Nate Diaz or was it somebody else? Might have been
Nah, because
Tyron Woodley too. It was Tyron Woodley too, wasn't it?
I
That was
really
it.
too. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So Tyron Woodley two. Then what's next? I think it's Tyron Woodley two, Nate Diaz, or maybe Anderson Silva. Then Nate Diaz. Then you got Mike Perry. You got the Rhino dude. I forget Ryan Borland or whatever his name was. You got
Yeah.
him. You got the dude that Andre August that he fought
You got
in
Tommy
Orlando.
Fury.
You got Tommy Fury. So, but I don't know. Even with Tommy Fury, I think like Tommy Fury, it's more of a size thing and just like uncomfortable, especially with Tommy's style. But even that, he arguably won. I just feel like Hassim would have been his first true measure, and had we had that fight, we might know a little bit more about what Jake can do right now. I mean, I'm no fool, and I'm definitely not wearing no pom poms. I do like Jake. I'll put that out there straight up. Like Hassim, I
Yeah.
got to got nothing to do with him, but I like Jake Paul. I think he's a good dude. I like his business ethic. But I'm also not delusional. I don't see him, and I know we're gonna talk about that later. I see him in an unwinnable fight, pretty much against AJ, and I think a lot of that is due to the fact that we know what AJ could do, and we see what we've seen. We have the eye test, but we've never seen Jake Paul in a real fight yet. And you can say any guy you want. That what Jesus or Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. washed. Anderson Silva, not his sport. Tyron Woodley, not his sport. Nate Diaz, not his sport. Tommy Fury, he lost. But even so, I think he actually won that fight. That's an arguable fight, right?
I
But
actually
like
liked him in that fight. I watched that fight not too long ago. I actually liked him in that fight.
I thought he won. So it's
He
like
showed me.
really, have we seen him against a boxer? I mean, if you want to call Tommy Fury that, no disrespect to Tommy Fury. I don't. I look at Tommy Fury as a like Jake. He's like Jake to me. He's an influencer boxer. He's more well known for what he's done outside the ring than in it. So it's yeah. I don't know. I feel like Hasim Rahman was definitely a missed chance, and I would have loved to see that fight. I know Hasim well. I know exactly how Hasim get down. I think Hasim is a scrapper, and I think he would have put Jake to a great test. And whatever happened would happen, but we'll never know.
Man, I just think because I seen Hassim fight the the big motherfucker from the NFL, 300 pounder.
Greg Hardy.
Yes, in Austin,
Uh
and
huh.
he got dropped. I want to say 2 or 3 times, but he didn't get knocked out. Like, and so can Jake do that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that I wish the fight would have been made between him and Hassim over Anthony Joshua. I honestly don't understand Anthony. I heard Ryan Garcia talk about, it was to please networks. I'm parakeeting what Ryan Garcia said, but he was saying that it has something to do with like pleasing networks. When it came to Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean, well, hold on. Hey, Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua. I didn't hear Ryan's take on that. You mean like pleasing Netflix in terms of
Yeah.
what? In terms of their displeasure with the idea of Tank being an opponent?
Well, no, it had to be a big name opponent. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah, for
saying?
sure. Yeah, you got to understand. And this is so I interviewed Rolly this weekend. Um, and I
I
asked
saw
Rolly,
that.
I said, cool. So you might have saw the part where, and I got more to come. So if any follow me after this, anybody watches this, please keep up with my channel. I got some dope shit on there right now. But I asked Rolly in the clip that I put up. I said, who's the face of boxing today? Because I'll tell you what I think it is, but I'm always curious to hear what people have to say and why. Like, what's your justification? Because in my opinion, I have great justification for my opinion, which is just an opinion. But I waited. He thought about it, and he actually said like four things because he said who was the face, and he changed the face, and he said there's no face. But his initial reaction was exactly what I feel it should be. He said Jake Paul. Yo, Jake is moving the needle. That doesn't make him the best boxer. It has nothing to do with that, or the most accomplished, or the most upward trajectory. No, no, no. We all know what we see with Jake Paul until he proves us different, right? We know what we see there. But when you're talking about moving the needle, yes. So I seeing Netflix going, yo, we about to give you 30, $40 million and have to pay an opponent potentially along the same lines. You got to get a name. If there is no name, then there's no fight. And I'm sure he looked around, and you got to give Jake Paul credit, man. I don't want to hear that scripted stuff. Yo, it's 2025, bro. You script a fight, you're going to prison. There's no scripting fights in America. I'm not saying lower, smaller tier promotion don't do that. When your fight is on DraftKings, FanDuel, you're being bet on, eh, the fix is not in. That's a hard thing to do. Now, do I think, shit happens like with Mike Tyson and stuff like that, where, in my opinion, I think he took it easy on Mike. He probably saw he could have hurt him. Probably thought to himself, not the smartest idea. Yeah, but like fix the fight, no. So I mean, look, if the fight goes like it's supposed to go, he should get knocked out. And for him to take that kind of risk on, I mean, damn, what else can you do but salute the man? Like, just
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I like, well, for one, you heard of Johnny Mansour and Juju out of San
yeah,
Diego.
of course, of course, of course, yeah.
So I came up in their gym out in Bomber Squad. Um, their head coach Berlin, Robert Garcia, Alvin guys. So that's where I came up at. And like them guys work hard in there, bro. They work extremely hard. So I know what goes into boxing as far as like a fighter gotta prepare for a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I got in the best shape of my life working out up in there every single day. So to see Jake Paul doing it, I salute him on that tip for sure. And I can and he's supposed to believe that he gonna beat Anthony Joshua. Like he's not supposed to, show that he's scared. You know what I'm saying? The whole world against him. So who knows? I honestly think, yeah, I know people actually get offended, you know what I'm saying, when I say shit like this, but he might fuck around and stun him a little bit. Who knows? He,
Anything can happen. Anything. Do I believe it? No. Like, and I like Jake and his promotion. You see, I'm actually wearing it right now. MVP does well by me. But one thing I like about MVP, and I think they like about me, is I just keep it real, give my opinion, and I try not to troll and nothing like that. So I would tell Jake what I'm telling you. I don't think he has a chance. But if he wins, if he even makes it 8 rounds, it is a victory all within itself, my guy. It's a victory all within itself, and that
yeah,
is
it is.
crazy
It
to
is.
think about.
It is. It is. It is. It is. A lot of people gonna tune in. Shit, it might fuck around and do big numbers, because everybody wants to see Jake Paul hit the canvas. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's gonna make him even more of a star because I definitely see him hitting the canvas, but I also see him getting back up though.
Yeah, unless he gets put right out, unless the lights go all the way out, then I don't know. It's gonna be
It is.
crazy.
It is. It is, bro. What you think about that? Because I know we was there, we was right there, but we didn't really talk about it. Did you have it a draw with um Lamont Roach and Pitbull?
Yeah, I did. I did. I figured it was going to a draw. I called it before the cards got read. I said this is gonna be a draw. It was just too much happened. The knockdown, the point taken away. It offset a lot. I felt like the fight was close to a lot of rounds. I felt like it was a very easy fight to score from 1 to 6. If you arguably gave, Lamont 1 or 2, I wouldn't be mad at that because I felt like those were toss up rounds. But when you really started to look at rounds, especially rounds, what was it, rounds 4 through whatever it was, it just, it was not good, man. It was just not good. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Excuse me, round 6 through or 7 through 12 or whatever. It wasn't. It just wasn't good for Lamont. Yeah, I feel like he gave the fight away, my guy. That's what I feel like. I feel like he gave the fight away. Hold on 1 second, Jeff.
You
What
good,
time?
you good,
What
you
time do you guys close? Oh, I'm good. Give me a second. I'm gonna come back around. Yeah, it just wasn't good at all. So I wasn't. I wasn't. I'm coming right back. My bad. It wasn't like I was shocked at what came of it. I was just disappointed in Lamont because one, and I like Pitbull a lot. Pitbull ain't never done nothing wrong by me. I did not want Pitbull to lose. I wanted Lamont to win. I like Lamont as well, and I got a relationship with Lamont, and I felt like he could have won that fight going away, like going away, no problem. If he would have just boxed, would have just boxed. I don't know what the hell, all that I gotta prove it, or maybe he was scarred from the Tank fight and he didn't want to draw, but buddy, you just ended up with another draw. So it's like you should have just boxed, man. Did what you knew was the right thing to do, and made Pitbull work for it. You walked right into his lair. You went to where he operates. I don't understand that.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, but at the same time though, he was in there too though. He
What
was
you
in
mean?
there too. Like shit, he was in there, thugging it out in the pocket with him.
Oh, he was doing good. I didn't think he got beat up. Like, oh, you went
Right.
in there and you look bad. You ain't have to do that. And by doing that, you confusing judges. You got judges who's not seeing. Like, there was a lot of shots because I went back and watched that fight. There was a lot of shots if you watch when they were in close that Pitbull was not landing because he was so in close on him. The shots were just coming around him. They were back of the head, around the arm. They wasn't all flush shots. But did he have to do that? I don't know, man. I don't think he had to. I think he could have not, but we'll see what happens. From what I hear, from what I read, and I think you might have read the same thing because nobody told me this. I just read it online like most people. It looks like the rumors are Pitbull's camp is not necessarily interested in a rematch with Lamont Roach. Um, and I mean, if he don't get the rematch, that's okay because he got so much more. His stock only went up.
It did. It did. It did. It did. I hope that he goes back down to 135 though. But see, here's the thing about 135. De Los Santos just knocked somebody out yesterday, first round.
I saw that.
And so I think that 135 is gonna get real interesting because people gonna want to see De Los Santos in there with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Whether if it's a Shakur, whether if it's a
We
uh
got
uh
robbed. We got robbed. We got robbed, bro. I wish we could have seen De Los Santos in with Keyshawn so bad. I just wanted to see what was gonna come of that fight.
yes. Was you there?
Yeah, when it all went down. Oh no, 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 no! I wasn't there. I wasn't. That was in Virginia. I wasn't there for that. No, 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 no. I forgot where I was. I was over the summer. I was somewhere else though.
Yeah. Yeah, I did want to see that fight. But you know what though? And I'm not saying nobody's scared of him, but it just seems like he kind of being avoided a tad bit. That's what it just seems like. Cause Tank didn't fight him.
You saying De Los Santos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I buy that. I buy that 100%. I feel like De Los Santos is one of them guys, high risk, low reward right now.
High risk, low
So
reward.
there's a lot of guys like that, man. Listen, one of my favorite guys.
Matias,
One
Matias
of
is like that too.
one of my guys, my personal friends, who I'm not trying to oh, they're the best and nothing like that. But I feel like Blair Cobbs is one of my close friends in boxing, and I can't tell you how disappointed I get every time I think about it for Blair, because Blair is fucking super competitive at one point. I would love to see Blair versus Mark. I would love to see Blair versus Devin. I think that'd be a great fight. But some guys are too much risk and too little reward, and in this business, those are the people might end up as Zuffa. Watch. That's what Zuffa is gonna open the door for. People like that
Bro,
can't get paid.
I talked to and I do wanna talk to him on this channel. He said he was gonna get with me. Sean. Um
Sean,
Sean, yes.
my dog.
He be with what's his last name though? He be with
Zattel?
Sean. Yes. Yes. He I was there at the Crawford and Canelo press conference where he went at it with Dana White.
That was
And
good.
they was talking about, he was going at him about the Ali Act. And I didn't even really know too much about the Ali Act. But then when I heard about it, I was like, damn, I don't really like that shit. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the sport of boxing. Because honestly, I love the boxing community, bro. Like, it's small, but it's major at the same time. Like, the world, the casual fans is what makes up boxing to be such a big, huge sport. But as far as like on the casual level, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people kind of know each other if you've been around for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Um,
Small community,
right.
bro.
It's a community. And so, with Dana White coming in, man, like, I don't, from what I know, from what I understand right now, I don't like what what the plans are when it comes to taking money from these fighters.
Yeah, so that a lot of what happened at the WBA today, that's what I was saying earlier. It was shocking to me, man, because you could tell that the organizations realize the type of problem they actually have on their hands. And if this Ali Act, the Ali Revival Act, whatever they're calling it, goes through, it is going to put UFC, TKO, WWE, for that matter, in position to really, really freeze out the organizations. It is going to lower fighter pay dramatically in a lot of ways. It's also going to open doors for guys like the Blair Cobbs who don't get a shot to get paid. So it's like a catch 22, man. There's some good to it, but there's way more bad, And like I told, because I was speaking with the president of the WBA today, and I told him, I said, look, I'm a mob fan. I don't know if you know anything about mob history.
No.
Okay, I'll make it real short and sweet. The mob in the United States, they were like boxing for a long time. So before 1930, it was just a bunch of different little gangs, right? You were Italian, you were a mobster, you were considered the mob. There was a few dudes who kind of were recognized as figureheads, leaders in the mob, especially in New York. One second, let me order this. By the way, if you've never been to Chicago, try Portillo's. They got.
Damn, I don't know if he's
I get
still
sweet and
recording.
hot pepper. How many is that? Sweet and hot pepper. Yeah. Yep. That it? No, and a sliced chocolate cake. Sliced chocolate cake. That's everything. Is it? Yeah. Thank you. Hold on one second. 257.
You good, you good.
Huh? Yeah. Me and my homie. Yeah, bro. Do it. We're trying to do a car photo shoot. Yeah, bro. You listen. You create content and you go at it hard enough. You do anything you want, bro. We're trying to get. Right now we're just trying to get someone to like do pictures of our cars. You got it. Together. Cause he's got a BMW M435. I got an Audi S5. Yo, yeah, clean. You definitely need some photos, bro. Yeah. I just mine wrap. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go, my guy. You are all set. You can just go ahead and pull it around. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Hold on one second. I'm almost with you.
You good, bro. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Hold on one second. I'm just ordering a little food. I gotta I got a 2 hour, hour and a half drive north. So once I'll go around. Yeah. So I grab this. It's on the road for a little bit. Um, but yeah, what was I? We were just talking about something. My bad, Brody.
Nah, you was we talking about damn, bro, mine just slipped just that damn
Right?
quick, man. Um, oh, you talking about some how it's gonna open up doors for like the Blair Cobbs
Yeah,
because you was
yeah,
just
yeah. So, oh, the mob, bro, the
like,
mob. All right, look. So the mob before 1930, United States, crazy, not really organized. Two dudes was in charge, pretty much in New York, and they had like, just all these gangsters under them that kind of was running them up, doing crazy stuff, killing people. What ended up happening was this dude, he's very famous. You might remember the name, or be like, oh, I kind of heard that name, but this dude, his name is Lucky Luciano. He saw what was happening. He said, look, bro, instead of all of us fighting all the time and doing sloppy stuff, what we should do is agree that we got 5 different factions in New York. Every leader of each faction will be part of a governing body. Now, while we operate independently and we got our own rules and regulations, we have rules that govern all of us. And those rules are enforced here at what they would call the commission. So even though I don't want boxing to do anything illegal, in theory, that's what they got to do at this point. If boxing, listen, if the organizations don't align, like literally align 100%, it's over. Give it 3 years or less, it's over. It's done. It's done. It's literally done. If they don't
so let
align,
me so let me ask you this. What does that mean for uh you know folks like you, folks like me? I say you because you already like knee deep, chest deep in the game. You know what I'm saying when it comes to media. So what would that mean at that point?
it's scary to think about, bro. I try not to. It definitely mean adjusting everything we do. I love the way that boxing operates in many ways, not in every way, but in many ways. And for me, it's like super important to you see. Like I enjoy and with boxing, bro, especially the way that I like to do my work. I like to think about what the fans really want to know and ask those questions. Like if I'm a fan, I want to know. Like I interviewed Katie Taylor. Are you really gonna fight Ronda Rousey? Is that really a fight that's on your level? Did you see her boxing video? Like I want to know that stuff. So that's what I ask. I feel like if they get involved, it could limit the way we interact with fighters, and I think that'd be a shame. But at the end of the day, you adjust, man. You conform. So I think it'll make it hard for people who don't have a mindset to hustle, or people who are comfortable, got a lot of their looks based on. Don't get me wrong, I get a lot of access based on relationships. That's what it's about. But I mean, like, truly, didn't craft their talent as much as they crafted their relationships. It's gonna hurt them because those relationships aren't gonna be irrelevant. Like it could be potentially. I hope not, but we'll see what happens. But the organizations, man, I don't want to see them go nowhere. I don't want to see the WBO, IBF, WBC, I don't want to see them anywhere. They are the legitimate designators of champions to me. That's what it is. But they got to reorganize and they have to work together. There should be uniformity. There should be less division. There should be a rule on how many champions per division can we have. You know what I forgot to ask for? 1 second. I forgot to ask for a cup of cheese, bro. Can I get one? Thank you. My bad. Yep. Thank you. You ever been to Chicago, Denzel?
I haven't. That's the one city that I need to go to. They're in Seattle.
Oh, Seattle's dope too.
I'm the only two that I really need to like go to.
Chicago's Chicago's literally dope. Yo, you the man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yep. Have a good
I
night. Be safe out here.
I want to go there with the fellas one summer. They be having the yacht parties during the summer.
So I lived in Chicago for 2 years, bro. You're absolutely right. Lake Michigan. They got a little spot out there. They call it what do they call that? Oh, man, they got a name for it. It's a funny name, but it's like the park or some shit. But anyway, yeah, Chicago dope. But if you ever go to Chicago, like I said, try Portillo's. But yeah, bro, that's basically what it is. As far as the organizations go, man, if they don't fucking wake up, work together, find solutions that are mutually beneficial for everybody, they're gonna end up, up shit's creek without a paddle, pretty much.
How much relevancy is this topic with the Terrence Crawford situation with that whole thing? Because I understand it, but I don't understand the business. I don't understand the business side when it comes to like the belts and like him paying the other sanction fees, but not this sanctioning fee.
That's because, and I'm gonna find that out tomorrow. So tomorrow I have an interview with the WBA president where I directly ask him how much Crawford paid them. Because if you remember, Crawford said the other three all charged me the same thing. Well, I want to know what that amount is because the WBC, all the sanctioning bodies, they do have some uniformity in the sense that the going rate for a championship belt is 3%. So in order for somebody to wear that belt, they've got to pay the sanctioning fee, 3% of their total purse. 3% of 50 million. I'm assuming that's how they got to whatever number they ended up with initially, because they based it on 50 million. They probably looked at that number and said it's way too much. So instead, according to Mauricio Suleiman, the president of WBC, he said, "Hey, we agreed on lowering it all the way to 0.06%." But 0.06%, again, I'm assuming they based it on 50 million. I could do that math quick and figure it out. But I'm pretty sure they based it on 50 million. That equaled $300,000. So that's the problem. But it's like, I'm not giving y'all $300,000 for shit. I don't care if it's for a belt, for a castle. You're not getting 300 grand from me. So he's a little upset. I think the problem with that is there's two ways to look at it. And one is he was probably told before the fight. And more than likely, I'm assuming he agreed or didn't make a big fuss about it. So there was an understanding, it was accepted. So, for Bud's sake, I hope they find middle ground somehow. But on the same token, looking at what Bud's saying, like, I think they need to put a cap. They got to make adjustments, bro. Like, it should be like, if you're making less than 100 grand, it's $1,000, $2,000 for the belt. If you're making, 500 or better, maybe it goes up to 10 grand. If you're making $1 million or better, maybe it's 50 grand, but that's the cap, like, 50 grand, like right there. You should never have to pay 300,000. Imagine paying $300,000 to hold the Lombardi trophy or to hold the Larry O'Brien trophy or, the Stanley Cup. Like, that don't make sense, but not that much money. It does make sense though if we want to run our own sport, and that's what I think is important. We recognize boxing's in a position where it gets to run itself. You can't like what they say. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You want to if you want to as a boxer have the ability to earn 50 million in a fight, then you have to pay sanctioning bodies money so they can exist to make you a champion. Otherwise, how the fuck do they make $1? And they need to make $1. The conventions are important. It's not just like, they like today was a medical seminar. I didn't even stay for that. I was out of there. It's not my forte, right? But it's not about that for me, at least, right? It is about that for the people dealing with the medicals. They need to learn what's new, and those things matter. But for me, overall, it's important to have a convention to show that you exist, to pull in fighters who've worn your belt, right? For the fighters who are no longer fighting, to have something to look forward to. Like, boxing again is a cold, lonely sport, man. Like, I just can't see. I wouldn't want to see Zuffa and TKO become the thing, the only thing. Like, no, I'm not. I don't give. I'm sorry, Dana White. TKO. I don't give a fuck about a Zuffa belt. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about a Zuffa belt. I care about who got the WBO. I want to know who got the WBC. I like looking at the rankings. I don't Zuffa. Stop.
I don't know. I just got a weird feeling about Dana White being in the sport of boxing. I don't know why.
Absolutely. Well, because he fucked up the UFC. See, they just pay, bro. Nobody. It's like we just like not you or nothing, but like in general, we talked about this. I don't think people, and I don't understand what the boxers are like. The man, maybe not out of his pocket, but the company he oversaw just had to cough up 375 million. That's one lawsuit. They got 3 more pending.
UFC.
So it's like, yes, antitrust, bro. They monopolized the sport of MMA. They underpaid fighters. They took advantage of them. The ranking systems weren't adding up. People who should have been ranked properly were not ranked properly. You don't sign an extension. You don't get championship fights. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. They're savage over there, man. And look, I like the UFC as a product. Dana White as a businessman, I enjoy, but I don't want none of that shit in boxing, bro. I just don't. Me personally, and I think a lot of people feel like that. But the problem is, where are those people? Why aren't they speaking? There should be all kinds of boxers. The way they show up to this convention, and I don't got nothing against them because I do it too. But the way we show up to the convention, we eat the hors d'oeuvres and we enjoy the drinks and we love the camaraderie and we stay in a nice hotel. Get up and go petition Congress. Go show up when the bill's getting talked about, when they're having hearings. Right? Where are we? You know, if we don't do that, I'm telling you what's coming. And that sucks because look at the boxers coming up. You got kids right now. Marcus Luther just won the national tournament, right? One of the national tournament winners. Great fighter. He looked dope. Okay. Bro, by the time he makes it pro, he might have to accept a $50,000 contract. And fight for Zuffa. Because there ain't nothing else. That's what's going to happen.
Is Turkey going to be with Zuffa?
Say again?
Is Turkey Alycia going to be with Zuffa?
Yeah, he funds everything. He funds the whole thing.
I like Turkey involved, but it's just something about Dana White. I didn't even like that card that they put on for Canelo and Crawford. I didn't like. I mean, it was
terrible.
The fight before it was all right. I mean, it could have been on the card.
And Billy and Lester was good. Everything else was ass.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I'm talking about Vargas, right? We talking about the brothers Vargas.
I didn't like. You like that fight? I didn't like that fight. I knew Vargas was gonna lose. I'm talking about Lester and then Billy, the two dudes that fight at middleweight, super middleweight.
The dude that came out with the wig during the press conference.
Did he have a wig on? I don't know.
The black dude,
I don't know,
right?
but yeah, the Christian and Billy.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Dope fight.
I mean, that could have probably been the opener for the main card.
Yeah, it was a great fight.
Who they got on the card with Teofimo and Shakur?
I think they learned a lesson. Right now, as of right now, they got Bruce Carrington, Susu, fighting for a title finally at 126. That's good for him. You've been calling for that for a while. Earned that shot. From what I hear, Richardson Hitchens might be on that card. Keyshawn Davis might be on that card. But
them fighting each other?
No. Keyshawn will be fighting Jermaine. If he don't make it onto that card, he'll be back by February. Maybe March, but he'll be back in that first quarter. But Keyshawn fighting Jermaine Ortiz and Richardson Hitchens. I'm so sorry. Richardson Hitchens fighting Jermaine Ortiz. And Keyshawn, they're probably going. I don't know who they're going to find for him. Get him Nahir Albright. That'd be a great comeback fight.
Who?
Nahir Albright. That's the kid that beat his brother. That they then they got into that shit with him in the back. But Keyshawn fought him before.
Yes, he had a no contest with him. Yeah, I forgot what that was in Texas.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I remember that. Man, that's gonna be a.
You should fight Nahir rematch.
That would be crazy. Especially with everything that went down. You gonna be in the building for that?
January 31st? Hell yeah. I was gonna go to Puerto Rico because obviously my peoples and Sanders Zayas is fighting for a title, but I mean, whoever wins that fight with you, first of all, it could be a boring fight. It could very much end up being a boring fight, but I don't think it will be, bro. I feel like they have too much on the line to just sit there and, especially a dude like Tio, I don't think Tio's just gonna sit there and let it become an overly technical fight, not by choice. If it happens that way, it's because Shakur is that damn good. But I think Tio's gonna push the pedal, and that fight is gonna set the frame for the next 5 to 7 years in boxing, minimum, if not 10. Whoever wins that fight, hell yeah, bro. Whoever wins that fight is going to be the man at 140, 147 for the next 5 to 10 years, bro. I promise you. The guy that wins that fight is the guy.
I believe that. Who you got?
Till I see it. It's hard to call
Shit,
it.
bro. For some reason, bro. For some reason.
Yeah, everything
I
tells you
can.
Shakur should win, but then everything tells you Tio should win. So it's like so confusing.
For some reason, man, I can see Shakur stopping him.
I'll be interested.
I can see it though.
It kind
I
of
can
takes
see
me
it.
back a little bit. I don't think Corrales was the same kind of fighter like Tio, but if you remember when Floyd Mayweather fought Diego Corrales
Yeah.
was a boogeyman,
Yep.
unbeaten. Nobody wanted to see him. Very athletic, tough fighter, and Floyd dropped him 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody thought. People thought, okay, Floyd will win this fight. Nobody thought Floyd was going to drop Chico, rest in peace, 5 times. Like that was crazy. So, anything can happen. Anything's possible. I don't. It's never, bro. It's never 100% sure thing, unless it's Bud Crawford. That's the
But
only sure thing in boxing,
nobody saw
baby.
Bud. Nobody saw Bud doing that to Earl like that. Cause he ain't
Nope.
did nobody
Oh, no, no, no.
like
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Earl fight, it was different. What's crazy for me? I was certain. There was no doubt in my mind he was beating Canelo. I even called it before the fight. We can pull that Instagram story up any day. I called it that morning. I waited. I wanted to be sure. That morning, I said, okay, Bud wins today by KO or unanimous decision. Okay, so he won the fight. But I'm going to tell you, when he fought Earl, bro, as hard as it is for me to admit, I was 50-50 until fight. I'm like, man, it could be a close fight. Even though I believe he would win, I just wouldn't allow myself to count Errol out that way. So you're right. I did not
that. Hell
expect him
yeah.
to do Errol like that.
Bro, I was in so here's the thing about me, bro. So I started taking YouTube seriously because I travel so much. I do a lot of solo travel. I've been to a lot of places solo. And so, but I love boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I was actually, when that fight took place, I was overseas in Asia. And it was early in the morning when I was watching this fight. And shit, man, I was I paid for the fight and everything, man, all the way overseas. I'm watching the fight, and I seen Earl get dropped in the second round, bro. And I'm watching it on an iPad, and it seemed like my either the cameraman, like, was you in the fight? Was you there?
No, 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 no. That fight, I literally chose to stay home. I chose to
Okay.
stay home for Canelo. I just went, well, fights, big fights like that. I like to watch it on TV. It's hard because I want to be there, but I'd rather watch it.
Because you can be you. I understand now. It's easy to get distracted at the fight.
Super.
Yeah, it's easy to get distracted at the fight, especially like when you're trying to work. You know what I'm saying?
I've watched,
But
when I'm at a fight, bro, the last thing I do is watch the fight. I've been to so many fights where I can't tell you how half the fights went because the one that I probably paid attention to is the main event, and then as soon as it ends, is work mode.
it's work mode. Yeah,
Instant,
I noticed
instant.
that. But when I was watching Crawford, I mean, yeah, when I was watching Crawford and Earl, the screen was shaking, bro. The screen was
Yeah.
shaking, and I was extremely calm when that happened. Even though inside, bro, I was shook. I was shocked. Just like whenever Ryan dropped Haney, I was
Oh, that was
shocked.
crazy. I was
I
there for that.
was
That was crazy.
I was
That
extreme.
was crazy.
How loud was it when that happened?
Bro, that fight week, I remember all of it. Like that's a fight that I never forget it because it was just great, bro. The event, the build up, the outcome, the Ryan drinking beers on fucking Thursday and knocking Devin out on Saturday. It was crazy. When he dropped him, I think it was what, second round? Was the second round when he
Yeah.
dropped him the first time? Or was it the first round?
No, the first round he buzzed them though.
Yeah, the second round he dropped him, right? I know it was early. But I remember, bro, when he dropped. So as a reporter, right, especially a content creator. So let me rephrase it, not as a reporter, because as a reporter, it don't matter as much. but certainly as a content creator, the underdog winning is the most profitable thing for me, right? So, if Jake Paul wins this fight, the views will be way crazier than if Anthony Joshua wins, right? Because you kind of expected that. You get what I'm saying? So when I'm at a fight and something happens out of the ordinary, it's not just me. Any media person, you can see them start to saddle up. They're like, all right, oh shit, this just happened. It's about to be a crazy night. Bro, I remember it because I was strolling around Barclays at that time. It was early on in the fight. I think I was like in the concessions, just kind of like fucking around. Like, I'll go down in a second. I remember when he got dropped, that stadium went crazy, bro. I made it to the floor in like zero point 0.2 seconds, and every media person that I knew that was around was doing the same thing. Everybody was trying to get to the floor. We said, yo, we got to get down there because this is about to be crazy. And it was, yeah, man. I remember Devin walking through the back after the fight on his way to the car. I got that video. That was my video. Yeah, man, it was just crazy to see him so disappointed, so beat up, so swollen. It was nuts. That was nuts, bro. That was nuts.
And it was in your city.
Oh my God. And they was wilding that night. Security at Barclays. Shout out to y'all, but sometimes y'all pain in the ass.
Man, hey, bro, I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate you actually, showing love, man, and actually, giving, if anything, bro, giving me an opportunity to make my way into the sport. Honestly, at first, man, I was low key kind of like struggling with even how to go about YouTube, man, because like I love boxing, but I love traveling. I love, I go to the range and I be wanting to document all of it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to. But I don't know, man. I love boxing. Like it's like I could talk about boxing all day. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk about the gun range all day. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not my lifestyle full time. Traveling, I can only tell so much, man. But when I tell you traveling, bro, I got so many crazy ass stories that I want to share them, but I don't want to confuse the audience when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, like what I'm building in the sport of boxing, bro. But man, I appreciate you, hopping on. Like I said, man, when you talking to somebody who actually know boxing, shit, man, the conversation is timeless. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure, bro. Whenever you need to holler at me, I got you, my guy. 100%.
Hell yeah, man. So, hey, one more thing, bro.
What up?
This fighter that Alicia Baumgartner fighting, how good is she? Do you know anything about her?
I know a little bit about her. Because I think she was on a different MVP card before.
Think you kind of breaking up.
Ranked opponent because she's fighting Alicia, and Alicia, she's got work to do, and I hope she's done it. Especially her last fight. Her last fight was tougher than I think it had to be. I think Alicia has a lot of skills, kind of like Lamont, has a lot of skills that maybe she doesn't use as much as she should. But if she has her head on straight and she's focused and she made the right adjustments, I think Alicia is as good as anybody. When I seen Alicia at her best, bro, I've been so impressed with Alicia. Her skills are top notch, but she's not always on like that. So I hope she is on this week.
She
And
remind, I was just saying she remind me, her style remind me a little bit of James Toney.
kind of a little bit. She's shifty like that. She mix it up, touch, don't get hit kind of thing. She, like I said, her at her best is really good. And I like to see her what she looks like when she's great. I don't think we've ever seen Alicia Baumgartner be great.
Well, hopefully we get that this weekend, bro, because this is gonna be the biggest stage of her life for sure.
She fought her ass off. So, but we'll see what's up
Yeah,
though. We'll see what's up.
this gonna
But I
be
got
the
somebody
this gonna be
blowing
the
my
biggest
shit up to
stage of her
sell.
life. But nah, hey, nah, bro, I appreciate you, man. I'm out. Hey, I'ma holler at you. Thank you, and I'm gonna hit you up whenever all this stuff come out, bro.
Say less. Say less, my guy. I got you.
Man, be safe out there, bro. All
Yup. I'm gonna holler at you later. This is up.
right, bro. You have a good one.
You too, my guy. Peace.
Yep. 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 Yo, that was Kevin Garcia, Puerto Rican kid. Great dude, as you can see. He definitely knows this stuff when it comes to boxing. Um, you know, I love talking to people who know the sport. But as you can see, we trying to build over here. So hopefully, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. They'll be great, you know. Um, we gonna definitely be going live more now because streaming is actually the way. And so, it's something that I need to get used to as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, we definitely gonna be having some different conversations outside of the sport of boxing because there's so much stuff we can be talking about. And I got a homie that's a part of the Beyonce Beehive, you know what I'm saying? And I really want to know, is it a cult or not? So we're gonna have that conversation sometime soon. We'll see. But not gonna hold y'all up. I appreciate it. It's your boy Denzel. We're making it look easy. Please like and subscribe to the channel. And we're gonna see you on the next one. Peace.